Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. Let's talk about the automobile. First created in 1986, the automobile has been known as one of the most popular ways of traveling. Today, the car industry has exploded with the likes of electric cars like Tesla. But there are times when cars utilized for movies. The most prominent and popular franchise involving cars is, you guessed it, the Fast and Furious franchise. With 20 years of movies, the Fast Saga is a popular blockbuster franchise. But is it for kids? No. What, with its tendency to objectify women and uses swears, how can this be for kids? Well, with that said, what are your alternatives? You have Transformers, not Michael Bay, but the original show and several other properties. And you have this. A Pixar franchise where every single character is a vehicle, no humans to be found. Box office hit and merchandise juggernaut for sure, but is it any good? Well, I guess it's time to find out. This is Cars. While traveling to California to race against the King, voiced by Richard Petty, and Chick Hicks, voiced by Michael and Batman Keaton, for the Piston Cup Championship, Lightning McQueen, voiced by Owen Wilson, aka Mr. Wow, becomes lost after falling out of his trailer in a rundown town called Radiator Springs. While there, he slowly befriends the town's residents, including Sally, voiced by Bonnie Hunt, Doc, voiced by Paul Newman, and Mater, voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. When it comes time for him to leave, the championship is no longer his top priority. So, I have a complicated relationship with the Cars franchise in regards to story, so I'll say right off the bat that the story is the weakest part of the movie. I do really love the opening part of this movie, but the middle dwindled in some areas, and the climax is one of the most underwhelming I have seen in any Pixar movie, but wait until the third movie in this franchise before I get to weaker climaxes. But are there good things in this movie? Well, yes, there are. The characters are where the movie has strength. Lightning McQueen is an interesting protagonist as he goes from a selfish jerk into a likable friend towards the end. Mater is just hilarious from beginning to end. That's all I have to say. Sally isn't in the movie much, but she is a likable character overall. Doc Hudson, being Paul Newman's final film role, was a really great look into how a mentor character can be. As for the citizens of Radiator Springs, we've got a colorful cast of characters. My favorite of the bunch is Ramon, maybe because he's voiced by Cheech Marin. As for the two racers, Strip Weathers, better known as the King, is not in the movie much, but he's still a good character as he is actually Lightning's one of two inspirations to being a better racer. Chick Hicks is just a sleazeball, and one you want to see get beaten because he's that much of a jerk. Okay, how's the animation? Well, for 2006, it holds up. Pretty much like every other animated Pixar movie up until this point has had good animation, and Cars follows that tradition to a T. Some of the landscaping shots actually look genuine, and that's awesome. As for the music, Randy Newman returns here to give a rock road trip southern feel to the score. I like the feeling he gives here as the score works on a multitude of levels. So yeah, if you haven't watched Cars, go ahead and watch it. It's a mediocre yet memorable romp through the world of Cars. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Not exactly a highway, but it still gets the job done. Well, that's it for this review. Feel free to leave your thoughts on the movie below and tune in next week when I take a look at Ratatouille. With that said, my name is Mr. CCS, this is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.